There is a specific silence that fills a room when someone realizes they have been removed from a will. It is the silence of a person who has spent their entire life believing they were owed something and just discovered they are not. Sarah was the younger of two sisters raised in Columbus, Ohio. While they lived in the same house, they did not inhabit the same childhood. Nicole was the golden child, a projection of the parent's ideal self, defended automatically. The other child becomes the scapegoat, absorbing the family's friction and blame. Sarah lived this role for 30 years. She watched her mother miss her ceremonies while celebrating Nicole's smallest achievements. Sarah did not try to fix the system. She survived it by mastering the art of being invisible. In 2019, their father passed away. He left behind a house, a savings account, and a life insurance policy. Within 48 hours of the funeral, Nicole called Sarah. She wasn't calling to talk about their father's life. She was calling to ask if Sarah knew what the inheritance split was going to be. Sarah told her she didn't know. That was a lie. Her father had spoken to her privately 6 months before his death and told her exactly what he had written. He told her, "I've watched what she's done to you your whole life. I'm sorry I didn't say it sooner." Sarah kept that validation to herself for 4 years. For the first time, she possessed a truth about their family that Nicole could not touch, influence, or rewrite. Between 2019 and 2021, Nicole's behavior shifted from entitlement to active manipulation. She positioned herself as the family's moral authority, telling relatives that Sarah had been difficult and jealous since childhood. This is a smear campaign. The narcissistic sibling broadcasts a false version of the target to the rest of the family. By doing this, they turn relatives into allies and isolate the sibling who challenges their narrative. The goal is to keep the target small and defensive, while the narcissist remains the central figure in every room. While Nicole generated constant noise and drama, Sarah stayed quiet. She documented every interaction and every false claim for 4 years, not out of anger, but for clarity. Sarah realized she could not win a debate against a person who refuses to acknowledge reality. Any attempt to defend herself was a waste of energy. On a Tuesday in March 2021, Sarah walked into her attorney's office. She didn't tell her mother, and she certainly didn't tell Nicole. At 34, Sarah had a modest life, a car, savings, and the inheritance her father had left her. Her original will defaulted everything to Nicole, simply because that is what society expects family to do. She asked her attorney to change it. She listed 2 friends, a former student she had mentored, and a local animal shelter as her beneficiaries. Nicole was removed entirely. She was no longer a beneficiary, an alternate, or executor. Sarah took her name off every single line of the document. A boundary does not require an announcement. Sarah filed the paperwork, went home, and made dinner. She let the law become her surrogate voice. Their mother passed away in January 2024. Sarah was at the hospital every day for the final 2 weeks. Nicole arrived for the last 48 hours. Exactly 3 weeks later, they met at a formal law office in Columbus, Ohio, to officially settle the estate. The mother's estate was simple. The house and the accounts were split evenly between the 2 sisters, just as the mother had intended. Nicole sat back, believing the transaction was over. She had no idea that Sarah's decision from 3 years earlier was about to become a matter of public record. After the mother's estate was settled, the attorney noted one final matter: Sarah's own personal will, which had been formally updated in 2021. The attorney explained that Nicole had been removed as a beneficiary from Sarah's documents. The room was quiet. Nicole looked up, processed what she had just heard, and turned to Sarah. Sarah didn't look away or apologize. She simply said, "I made a decision that was mine to make." Nicole left the office and spent the next week sending 4 escalating text messages. They began with anger and accusations and ended with a partial apology 6 days later. Sarah read the messages and did not respond. She returned to her job and her volunteer work at the shelter. Sarah did not win a debate. She simply decided that the negotiation was over and used a single legal document to close the door.